Like, I am calling bullshit. Hey geeks and gamers, welcome to my channel. I'm Trey Guillotine and we are about to geek out on some of the latest and biggest happenings in pop culture. But first, I have one question for you. What you gaming on? If you want to tell me what game you're playing, what you gaming on, what you like about it, what you don't like about it in the comments of this video or on any of my social media, let me know and your answer will be featured in an upcoming video. But we are going to go ahead and jump into today's latest geek out, which we have to be geeking out about the most obvious thing, Avengers Endgame. Literally for the second half of the movie, I was crying until the very end of the credits. I really think this was such a strong conclusion to the Infinity Saga, which is what all of these movies have been labeled as, from Iron Man to Avengers Endgame. The first half of the movie is very much this nostalgic farewell to the original 6 Avengers, to Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, and Hawkeye. Like, this is the movie where we're seeing these characters as at their low point. Like, Avengers Infinity War was the time that the Avengers lost. That was the time the Avengers did not win, did not save the day. And then Avengers Endgame starts with these characters at their lowest point, and it really shows that these characters are human, that they're not perfect, that they make mistakes, that they sometimes they're just in a bad place. And that's exactly where this movie starts, and I like that about those characters. And then the second half of the film, like, this big battle starts, all of those characters come back, and literally it felt like every person who has ever been in an MCU film shows up, and it was just such a monumental emotional experience that is the moment I started crying. It was just really good. It was just a really good movie. But it wasn't perfect. There were some things that I definitely didn't like about it. There were definitely some things that I feel were not only just weak decisions or weak aspects of the film, but were definitely like the wrong decision. Like, they should not have done this. And one is Captain Marvel. So we just had, a month or so ago, we just saw Captain Marvel. It was a fantastic film that introduced to us one of the most powerful beings in the galaxy as far as we know, Captain Marvel. Was a fantastic character. The movie was great. And we were really expecting her to be a big part of Endgame, and she wasn't. Like, she's in the very beginning, and then she goes off for the rest of the movie, which, the reason she leaves is understandable. She tells the Avengers that, the rest of, like, Thanos didn't just do this to Earth. He did this across the entire universe. So, fortunately, Earth has the Avengers looking out for them, but other planets don't, and that's kind of what she's doing. She's going planet to planet, helping people as best she can deal with what's going on. So, it's an understandable reason of why she leaves and isn't in the rest of the film. And the other thing I was wondering is, like, if she had stayed, would it have been would it have been too easy? Because she is so powerful. She's definitely OP. So would it have been too easy? And I don't know, but I think it's like, I'm calling bullshit on that we were really expecting, or I was really expecting, that she was going to be a big part of Avengers Endgame, and she just wasn't. That while this film is definitely the closing of the Infinity Saga, and it's the farewell to at least most of the original Avengers, it was also, like, I feel like it was also meant to be her introduction as an Avenger. That was like, yes, we got her origin story. We know where she came from. She know what her deal is, but this was going to be her time where she is, like, stepping up as an Avenger and becoming an Avenger going forward as probably one of the leaders of the Avengers or some cosmic team or something. Like, that's what we were expecting. That's what I was expecting to see. And, even if you want to say that, oh, well, she's going to be more in the later saga because she has nothing to do with the Infinity Saga, she got her power literally from the Tesseract. Like, that's literally where she got her power from. So she is connected to the Infinity Saga. She is connected to the Infinity Stones, and she should have been there more. She does come in at the very end. Like, that's when she's in the movie, at the very beginning and at the very end, but that's it. So I was really annoyed by that. But the thing that just outright pissed me off is they killed off Black Widow. Like, they killed her off. Clint and Natasha go to get the Soul Stone, and of course Red Skull tells them, oh, you have to send one person over, you have to kill the one you love to get the Soul Stone, a soul for a soul. Like, I'm sorry, that's... The fact that they killed off Natasha, that they killed off Black Widow, was bullshit. Like, I am calling bullshit for a number of reasons. One, first of all, I am not totally convinced that to get the Soul Stone, you have to throw someone over that you love, that you have to kill someone that you love. I mean, we could argue space magic, and we could argue, sure, that's the exact way to do it, but I'm sorry, who told Red Skull this? Like, who... Like, was there, like, an official meeting or official manual for the Soul Stone that was like, all right, Red Skull, when people show up to get the Soul Stone, this is how it is. Step 1, have someone you love. Step 2, push them over the cliff. Like, is there some official manual of how the Soul Stone works? Because I don't, like, I'm sorry, I'm not buying the idea that you have to kill someone you love for the Soul Stone. I'll buy the idea that it's a soul for a soul, but I don't think it has to be someone you love. So for that entire scene, I was literally waiting for Natasha and Clint, who are incredibly intelligent, incredibly clever spies, to throw Red Skull over the cliff and get the Soul Stone. Like, why not? I don't think it has to be someone you love. They could have literally thrown Red Skull over the cliff to get the Soul Stone. But that's not what happened. They had to throw one of them off. It had to be Clint or Natasha, and it ended up being Natasha. But again, just from a storytelling standpoint, I don't think it should have been Natasha. I think it should have been Clint. Which, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against Hawkeye, but in Infinity War, we see Hawkeye like everyone's at their lowest point. His lowest point is basically running around the world as Punisher with a bow and arrow. And yes, he's Ronin, and I know that's something from the comics, but from just an MCU standpoint, he's basically the Punisher with a bow and arrow. Like, he becomes not a good person. You know, even if he is doing this to, you know, save people, like, it's definitely just kind of him working out his grief, killing people. You know, he does. He goes to a place that a lot of people would be like, no, that's not a good place to go to. Even if you're at your lowest point, that's not a good thing. And he even says it when they're talking about, like, who's going to sacrifice who to get the Soul Stone, that, you know, look what he's become. You know, look at the monster that he's become. How can he face his family like that? You know, but, you know, this he can do. He can sacrifice himself to save, one, his team, the Avengers, and also save his family, bring his family back, which, I mean, I feel like that would have been an appropriate thing. Not that I'm saying Hawkeye needed to die, that there's no redemption for Hawkeye, but just from a storytelling standpoint, it should have been Hawkeye. And then that was a big thing for Black Widow in Endgame, is that she has this family. She has the Avengers as her family. Even Clint's family is part of her family. So it would have been like her thing to now take care of that family. So I don't think Natasha should have died, because she just has so much more to offer the MCU that she hasn't been. She has been neglected the spotlight from the beginning. She is the third Avenger to enter into the MCU. First there was Iron Man, then there was Hulk, then there was Black Widow. She was the third Avenger. Like, she was there almost from the beginning. So the fact that they're killing her off now, and, like, finally when, you know, we're saying goodbye to most of the original Avengers, like, this would have been her time to step up and be in the spotlight of the MCU, at least for a little bit. We know she's getting a movie, but now we know that we're sure that it's gonna have to take place in the past, that it'll be some past thing that she and maybe Hawkeye did. We don't know much else about the movie, except apparently Emma Watson is supposed to be the villain in it. So again, I'm calling bullshit on that. That was not the right decision to kill off Black Widow. They should not have killed off Black Widow. So ultimately, like, yes, it was a fantastic film, but it was a fantastic film. It might even be the best film in the MCU. I don't know. Let's wait a little while until it's gotten rid of that new movie smell, and see where it is just in the 22, 23 movies, if it's number one in the top three, top five, whatever you want to argue, I'm giving it some time before I'm like, oh, it's the best movie ever. I definitely might think it might be the best Avengers movie, but best movie in the MCU, we'll see. But it wasn't perfect. It definitely had some weak decisions, and that's just kind of the thing that stood out for me. It had a lot of weak decisions. So it was a great movie, but it wasn't perfect. I would give it, at best, an A-. But now I want to hear from you. What did you think of Avengers Endgame? Let me know in the comments or on any of my social media. Remember, if you want your answer featured in an upcoming video for What You Gaming On, let me know the game you're playing, what you like about it, what you don't like about it, and your answer will be featured in an upcoming video. Share the video around so others can join in the conversation, and subscribe to my channel to geek out some more. Thanks for watching. Have fun.